Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Anggraini. I am from the last group. Now I will read my assignment about English for Science and Technology. Introduction. Scholars employ English for Science and Technology or EST to realize the universal communicative function associated with science genre. Thus, understanding the forms and function of science discourse is important to learners of English as a second language. Trimble 1986 asserts that EST covers the areas of English written for academic and professional purpose and of English written for occupational or and vocational purpose, including the often informally written discourse found in trade journals and in scientific and technological materials written for the layman. It is crucial not only in scientific and technological endeavor, but also in institutions where provision of EST-related skills are essential to the population of science and technology scholars. Chihujo, Utimayo, and Nakamuro 2005. Furthermore, Ramasya 2013 posted the learning science and technology entails the acquisition of knowledge of some universal concept, peculiar to scientific and technological texts. So all EST activities are linked to text. Cheng 2008 states that genre can support learner by facilitating the learning discipline specific English. Thus, genre analysis is an important aspect in the study of text. Darley, Evans, and John 1982 state the genre analysis helps learners to build a repertoire of the organization of essential language forms of different genres. Furthermore, Umera UKK 2011 asserted that the intent of genre analysis is to help learners to use language more effectively in academic and professional setting and to bring the needed psychological reality and relevance to the learning text. In other words, learners need to develop the understanding of the code, the acquisition of genre knowledge associated with the specialist culture sensitivity. Then only then can they hope to exploit generic knowledge of a repertoire of specialist genres by becoming informed users of the discourse of their chosen field. I think that enough. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Literature review. Different scholars have explored the distinct kinds of science-based English. Tarone, Dwyer-Gillett, and Leach have refuted the idea that most research work in science and technology portrays the frequent use of the passive verbs. The author posits the active verb occurred at least as frequently as the passive verbs. Examining the frequency of the verbs used into journal papers in astrophysics and rhetorical function of the verbs, Taron, Dwyer, Gillett, and each have discovered that the active journal papers of astrophysics, the passive verb form occurs much less frequently than the active verb. Similarly, the active verb person plural we seems to be regularly used as at strategic point of the publication. Their investigation into the function performed by the active and passive verbs yielded for generalization. First, writers of astrophysics journal paper normally use the first person plural active we form the indicate points in the logical development of the agreement where a procedural choice have been made. The passive is used when the authors are just following established or standard procedure that is using accepted quotation or describing what logically follow from their early procedural choice. Second, when the writers of astrophysics journal contrast their own research with other contemporary research, they use the first person active for the work being contrasted. Third, when the authors quote other contemporary research work to their own proposed future work, they use the passive voice. Fourth, Taroni, Gillen, and each assert the use of active as opposite to passive form of the verb appears to be conditioned by a discourse function of focus or by the emphasis lack of constant sentence elements. In the area of syntactic characteristic of ease, the author posits that a current consciousness of objectivity of ease documents are also accepted by the extensive use of post-positive attributive, non-predicative verbs, passive voice as well as long and complicated sentences. The use of post-positive attributes in else can be realized through the following 5 structures. 1. Prepositional process. 2. Adjective or adjective process. 3. Adverbs. 4. Participles. And 5. Attributive clauses. The extensive use of passive sentence meet the requirement of science and technology material for objectively compactness and coherence. No predicative verbs are far more frequently used in else than in general English to serve the purpose of explaining ideas impersonally, concisely, and precisely, similarly to present the complicated relationship among the existence is document depend on the logic thinking that resort to use of long complicated sentence. The rhetoric characteristic of is expressed through the limited use of tense, the simple rhetorical choice, the common as of abnormal sentence, and the deliberate as of subjunctive mode and imperative. Particularly, is writing use simple present tense to create timeless motion. Thus, writing state the facts, process, and feature, most of which are of universality, frequency, and particularity. The author posits that science and technology documents seldom employ such rhetorical devices as metaphor, personification, and hyperbole. Rather, the writing adopts simple, personal style of writing for the sake of objectivity. The use of in-person helps to make ideas more eye-catching, prominent, and vivid. The description of propositions of ideas, discussion of problems, and the deduction of formulas often involve a variety of requirements and conditions. This usage avoids ambiguity and in meaning and is usually a smooth tone for expressing the result of a specific condition. Furthermore, imperatives are used in operation specifications, work, procedures, and precaution measures to provide instruction, suggestion, advice, and comfort. Also, the use of cooperative help to refine and express the author-friendly suggestion to reader. The writers conclude that is displayed its own unique feature in evaluation and development process.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Crisdiana. I am from the last group. Now I will explain methodology. The purpose sampling technique was used to select 40 experts from 40 texts and journals in the field
of computer science. The texts cover different sub-branch of computer science, which were database management system, computer security, computer architecture, artificial intelligence, and informative technology. The quantitative description employs frequency count for the cohesive device in the presentation of data. The qualitative analysis describes four peculiarities in the use the cohesive device. Result and discussion for 6.1. The cohesive device found in the computer science text. Grammatical cohesion is the structural linking of sentences in a text which hold the text together and give it meaning. 2. Personal reference item. 3. Some of the demonstrative reference found in the excerpt. 4. Comparative reference. Comparative reference set up a relation of contrast. The research discovered that there were very few used in the computer science text examined. 5. Rhetorical function of cohesive device. 6. The relevance of as in the study of English language. English for science technology in a subcategory of a large file of English for specific purpose or ESP.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Conclusion: the language of computer science is a facilitator and students studying computer science should be conversant with its facilities. Bogu, 2017. When students are familiar with the distinctiveness of computer science English, it would facilitate the learning of the discipline, specific English, and their professional communication. EST is very vital for learners of English as a second language to achieve the crucial objectives of communicative competence in the field computer science. EST approach to learning or teaching should be adopted in higher institution. Emphasis should be laid on the cohesive device in language classes. Students should be made to realize the significant contribution cohesive device make to text. So, it is essential that the EST approach to language learning should be adopted for communicative competence. I think it's enough. I'm sorry for our mistake. Thank you for your attention and watching these videos. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.